and welcome to my boyfriend's bed. So it's been almost 2 weeks that I arrived in Japan, and I thought it would be interesting to compare a simple long-distance relationship meeting and the closing of a long-distance relationship, because when you're together there are some things that are different and some things that stay the same. When you're visiting in a long-distance relationship, because yesterday I was talking to one of my friends who's been in a long-distance relationship for 3 years, and when she actually ended close to the distance, she told me that she felt even worse than usual because she still had that feeling that she wanted to be with him all the time, which I don't feel like I have. But I think the main difference between her and myself is that she wasn't living with him, which makes more sense, because that means that when he comes back home or she comes back home, he's not there. Like, they can't spend quality time to just like watch a TV show or something, and he only wanted to hang out with her like once a week or something, so she had to get used to that idea, which is not something that I have to get used to because we're living together. So as always, what I talk about is my own experience. But yes, apparently some people still feel a lot of stress to actually be together all the time, and it makes sense if you're not living together. But for us, we are not separated anymore. Every time he comes back home, even if he comes back home late, I'm there. He comes back to me, and we can still spend maybe like an hour just cuddling and things like that. In the same kind of idea, I don't feel as mad. Like, when I was just visiting, when he was gonna go out with his friends and drink and left me at home, I always felt very, very annoyed and mad, because I took all that time. Like, I did this 17 hours trip. I organized myself so that I wouldn't have to study too much and things like that to be with him, and he would just tell me that no, actually he wanted to hang out with his friends, and it made me really annoyed. But now, since I'm here to stay, if he tells me that he wants to hang out with his friends, of course I'm still a little bit sad, because I really want to spend time with him. It's been only 2 weeks, so I feel like it's still very important, but not as much. I still I feel like we can catch up another time, you see, and we can do maybe what he did with his friends, but on the both of us another time. I don't feel like time is as stressful anymore, which is a really positive thing. Still related to time, when you're visiting in a long-distance relationship, you really want to do as much activities as possible so that you can catch up on the dates that you couldn't do for I don't know how long, but also so that you can kind of save up some dates that you won't be able to have in the future as well. So when we were meeting, if I was staying for 3 weeks, most of the time we would kind of stress out, okay, what are we doing today? We have to do something special. We would go to tons of places, visit a ton of stuff, just as a way to finally be together and have normal dates like everybody else. They also ended up being quite pricey because we wanted to like commemorate everything, and we wanted just to remember everything. But Now, since we ended the long distance, I mean, first of all, I'm in quarantine, so I'm not allowed to go out. We've been on a walk or two, but mask on and not having any interaction with anyone. But afterwards, first of all, he's working, so it's gonna be a little bit more complicated, but also simply we have the weekends to just hang out and have maybe a cool date, a cute date, but not like every day constantly trying to catch up on on the past or on the future. So yeah, that's a big thing as well that I find quite cool. Even though we still kind of do feel like we need to have a proper date as soon as I finish quarantine, because we haven't been able to have a proper date in the year. So yes, there is a kind of a need of balance, but not as much as there used to be when I was just visiting. The fact that we finally closed the distance also allows us to not have those sudden panic crises where we realize that in a couple of days I'll be leaving or he'll be leaving, which is, I'm pretty sure you know, it's one of the worst feelings ever. It's not fun. I hated them. Like even just a week before you're leaving, you look at your calendar and you go, oh no, oh no, 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 oh no, 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 and just like close it and try to forget about it. This feeling, I don't have to repress it anymore because it's not there, and that's a great thing. Makes me so happy. Because I'm a very anxious person and those kind of things really stress me out. But long distance is over, so that is over as well. But closing the distance also means that there are some things that are not, like, you lose those stress I just talked about, but you have new stress. New kinds of stresses, such as having to find an apartment. And in Japan it's really difficult to register for a bank account and have a phone number and things like that, which are really stressful. You lose a stress to get a stress. It's just a different kind of stress. And at the same time, since in Japan it's really difficult to do those things as a foreigner, it's best to actually have someone to help you. So we're probably gonna have weird dates like, let's go to the bank and see if you can help me with a bank account. It will be a new kind of date. It's probably not the most fun one, but it's also not the worst, and as long as we're together, who cares? Closing the distance and just visiting, there are also a lot of things that are very similar. First of all, it's been only 2 weeks since we closed the distance, so at first I can't really believe that we're actually together, which is a feeling I'm sure a lot of long distance relationship couples feel like all the time when they're actually together. But also we're very tactile, like, because we can't believe that we're actually together, we want to maximize the time that we can do things we can't usually do, so like touching and kissing and hugging and things like that. This, even though the distance closed, for us at least it hasn't changed yet. I'm guessing that as time goes by, those kind of, especially because we are not really tactile, it might change. I hope not, because it's really sweet. I really enjoy it. But yes, at least this for us hasn't changed yet. We are also very grateful that we can be together. And I think that's a big thing when you're just visiting. You feel very grateful to be together, but even if you're closing the distance, this feeling of being grateful and realizing that you are together when other people cannot be together it's great. And just also being so proud of your couple for fighting the distance and everything. I don't know, it makes you just appreciate each other's presence and just be happy to be together and realizing that you really love each other, because otherwise why would you have gone through all that? Actually just being together, like he could be studying here and I'd be like on the desk studying as well, and it just makes me really happy. And that's something that both visiting and closing the distance still makes us very happy. I hope that we will always remember long distance relationship as being this tough time that helped us grow as a couple, as individuals as well. Yeah, I just hope that we're never gonna forget about it and always be grateful and appreciative of being together. So yes, in conclusion, I would say that there is not much difference between visiting and actually closing the distance. You lose one stress to get another stress. Yeah, life is made so that everything balances out, so here you go. And in the end, what's most important is that you stay grateful, as I was saying, that you stay grateful that you can actually be together, because some others can't. And we need to just appreciate the fact that we are together. And if you are fighting the distance right now, know that my heart goes to you, and I really wish you the best. I hope that you soon can also close the distance, and hopefully your happiness will be overflowing just like it is for me. Keep loving each other, keep fighting the distance, and I know you can do it, guys. So I wish you the best. See you!